Hi friends, today I'm going to talk about getting unstuck in life. There's a stage in everybody's life where a person thinks that he's getting stuck. So he thinks that he's hardworking, he's sacrificing, he's the one who is doing everything whatever is required. Even he is doing more than what is required. So he is doing 200% of the efforts. But he would see that nothing is working. His finances are going down the drain, his health is not at the topmost, and he would also see the relationships are also falling apart. Why does it happen? Okay, so there's this feeling, there's a sinking feeling that why me? So when this happens, there is a sinking feeling that comes that why me? He is doing everything whatever is required, he is hardworking, he is sacrificing, but why he is at the receiving end? In my 4 years of career as a life change coach, I have seen that people have wonderful talents, they have wonderful capabilities, they have awesome potential. But what happens is like since their mindset is very stuck, their mindset is very stiff, that is the reason they are not able to break through. And so there are some people who take this as a challenge. There are some people who think that they do not know something which has to be worked upon. However, other people, most of the people, 95% of people, they just brush it aside. They just think that things are getting tougher and things are not the way he wants or she wants. Then things would turn around automatically. It does not happen. As Einstein said, you cannot solve a problem with the mindset that created the problem. So, first of all, you have to understand that that your thinking, your level of execution, your level of understanding is not sufficient to break through from this feeling of stuck. What you have to do is you have to change your mindset. This is what we do in our weekend webinars. So you either have empowering thought process or you have a disempowering thought process. If you have disempowering thought process, you would find problem in every situation, in everywhere, in every relationships, in every workplace, you would find all the problems. However, if you have an empowering mindset, you will take these differences as normal. Okay, you will work around. Okay, just like an ant. Whenever an ant encounters an obstacle, so he just digs around, you know. So he first tries to go around. When he cannot go around, then he tries to climb up. When he cannot climb up, then what he does is he tries to dig inside. Okay, if that is also not working, what happens is like it starts gnawing at the rock. Till what time he does it? Till the time he dies. Okay, so he never takes no for an answer. So this should be your mindset if you have to solve a problem, if you find an obstacle. So 95% people do not do that. They take the easy way out. They do not give a thought. They do not ponder over it. They do not, give themselves a chance to overcome it. They brush it aside and they say that this is something which will go away automatically. The height of ridiculousness is to do the same thing and expect different results. So whenever people encounter such kind of a problem, when they get stuck in life, they do one out of two things. So either they do something which they have done the most in their life, or they do something which they have done the least in their life, but they do something which they have already done. They just do not have a mind width of thinking of something else. And you would see that these people do not have a habit of reading. They do not have a habit of speaking to themselves. But the most important conversations you have is with yourself. You are the most important person in your life, so you should be able to converse freely and effectively with yourself. And that is the key to getting unstuck in life. This is what we teach in our weekend webinars. And what happens is like miracles start to happen. Once you understand that your mind is creating all these problems, your mind is not allowing you to change, your mind is keeping you stuck. And when you ask that mind, which has unlimited potentials, unlimited power, okay, it has superpowers. But the problem is, since we have not trained it, we have not taught it, that is the reason it is so powerful. It keeps us gripped in that problem. It never let us go. So what we have to do is we have to give the best chance to ourselves to get out of it. You have to start hard questions to yourself. And the most of the time the answer is the same, that you do not know something, and whatever you know is not supporting your growth and not supporting your financial well-being, something which is hampering, and your habits and your thoughts are not aligned with your growth and success. This is what you need to understand. In my 4 years of career as an international life change coach, and I am an acclaimed author of the book Pain Thinking is Success. The whole book, revolves around self-talk. You don't have to worry. Okay, you have the superpower. If you have your mind, if you have your brain, you have everything whatever is required to change your life. Okay, there's nothing lacking. Okay, but if you do not understand, if you do not change your thought patterns, you will find problems in everything whatever you see, whether it be your home, whether it be your office, whether it be your finances, whether it be your kids, your relationships. Everything would be in a mess, and you would only have a feeling that nothing is in your control. Everything is out of your control. But believe me, everything whatever you want will fall in place if you are able to think properly. So thinking properly is so crucial. Everything, each and everything, the second you wake up till the second you sleep, everything starts with thinking. If you don't think right, you will not do right. As a neuroscientific mind trainer, I have always strived to ensure that this message goes across. And believe me, it had been a wonderful journey. I had the same feeling. My finances are draining out, my kids are not listening, my relationship are hampered. Everything was chaos. And this used to happen some 10 years back. After that, I really had to dig into it. Like, what is the problem? So I started reading. And believe me, when you read, you get a lot of scenarios. What happened? And you would find people who had more problems than you, who had more troubles than you. They had physical handicap. They couldn't move also. Okay. But they came out of it. And they had made such a fortune that people are giving example of them. There was this farmer in US, somewhere in Texas, okay, who was paralyzed and who couldn't work. He had a small farm which was not doing good, and he had some pigs which he used to raise on the farm, and he was literally bound to his bed now. What could he do? And then he engaged his mind, the most powerful part of his body, to think over it. He pondered, he gave scenarios, he gave, like, he just fought the biggest battle of his life with his mind. And you know what happened? One day he got an idea. So he was very famous in his family for making good sausages. He became one of the wealthiest. So he starting meat processing plant. Now he has the biggest meat processing plant in that state. You have the superpower, but you have to allow that superpower to use its tools, techniques, and strategies to come to a point where it can give you ideas, where it can give you instructions, where it can give you hunches to come out of your problem. If you are always firefighting with all of your ineffective thinking patterns, you will never achieve greatness in life. You will never achieve the happiness. You will never achieve things what you really desire. So what you need to do is you just need to learn to stop your thinking. So the technique which I have mastered is called zero thinking. Zero thinking implies, like, you should be able to free your mind for everything. Okay. So what would be the last thing that you will focus on if you think that you have nothing to do in your life? The last thing you would focus on is your breath. Okay. So you have to get rid of everything. So that is called zero thinking. This is what we teach in our workshops. So what happens is, when you do zero thinking in practice, your mind recalibrates itself. It works at the highest potential. And when you do that, it really comes up with such magical ideas you will not imagine. And you just need one idea to change your life. Okay. But the only problem is, since you are in so much chaos, since you are in so much mess, you will never get to that idea. Okay. So this happened to my mentor, and this was some 60 years back. He never used to believe that these things happen. Okay. But his mentor told him to do things like, breathing exercises, shutting down your thinking and all those things, and he did it. Since he was committed, since he respected his trainer, his mentor, he did whatever he said. Okay. Although deep down he didn't have belief. Oh, it's okay. Belief is something which comes over time, which can be built. It's a muscle. Okay. I'm talking about none other than Jack Canfield. So he was just like us. He was in US, and his father always used to be very grumpy, and he never used to spend much on them. And since Jack was always, like, he was very curious, he always used to want to have things, and he used to ask, that can I buy this. So the favorite dialogue his father used to say is, do you think I'm a Rockefeller? Do you think I'm a millionaire? Okay. So these are the things that he used to hear, and this is what he went along growing up. Then at one stage, so he had this mindset, and he used to earn about $8,000 a year, and this is an average income of US at that moment. That was back in 50s and 60s. He was just struck by the enormity of the ideas. So he just said, let's give it a shot. Like, there's nothing he's losing. Started with the rituals. He started with mirror talk. He started with zero thinking and meditation and everything, and affirmations, visualization. He started with all those things. And a month went by, 2 months, 3 months. So after 6 months, okay, after 6 months, he was just entering a shower, and he thought of an idea. An idea came to his mind. Okay. He, at the time, he was collecting inspiring stories. Okay. Somebody like who has turned around his life. Okay. He was about to give up his life, and then something happened, and then he turned around and he made a wonderful life. Okay. So those kind of stories, he was just gathering it. Then he said, like, why don't I just publish a book, and if I want to have $100,000. Okay. So $100,000 is what he was aiming for. That was his goal. So he was earning about $8,000 in a year, and he aimed for $100,000. That idea came to his mind that if I have to make $100,000, I just have to sell 40,000 at a price of 25 cents. If I sell it for 25 cents, I'll be able to make $100,000. So the idea was so gripping that he wrote on a piece of paper. He started to visualize, and he started to think, started to work around, because he had already created that atmosphere in his mind. He has created that level of understanding, that level of belief. And then what happened is, he did everything. He started meeting people, things started to turn around, and he was just like he was all over the places. And he was meeting people, things were going so fast. He was coming across people who had never met him in his life, like journalists and campus students, and all those people who they just wanted to know what he's trying to teach. Okay, in a year, so after a year ended, and he just calculated the amount he earned, he was approximately more than 94,000. So he was so close to his mark. Okay, then he just thought over it, that it was $100,000 is what he had aimed for. So if this thing is possible, why can't aim for I can aim for more than 10 times of that goal. Okay, so it's absolutely possible. The universe does not care how much you want, but it cares whether you are intentional, whether you really want it, whether you have a clear cut thinking process about that. That is what is required. So what happened is, you can also turn around your life, but you have to practice zero thinking. First, you have to take the power to yourself. When you take the power to yourself, okay, what will happen is, things around will not have power on you. They will not be able to influence you. They'll not be able to break you. They'll not be able to disturb you. They'll not be able to do anything if you are in your control. So to get unstuck, you have to take back your control. If you wish to learn more, you can attend my weekend webinar, which mostly happens on Saturday or a Sunday, or we do have sometimes 2 days. So you can either one of them, and create the magic which you want in your life. Nothing is impossible. Even the word possible says, if you break it, it says, I am possible. So see you, friends. If you wish to join and take your life to the next level, okay, get unstuck in life, create the fortune you want, you are welcome. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.